Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we are all well. Big up, everybody. Make sure you smash in a like on the video. We are now 3 subscribers away from 400. On the road to 400. Let's make sure we get there. Big up everybody who's subscribed, who's new to the channel, and big up everybody as well who's been following the channel since day dot. And we're back again, of course, with another match preview. Burnley tomorrow. Going to be an interesting game. Burnley have already beaten us once this season at the Emirates as well. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing a watch along for the game because I am at work. However, I thought I'd give you guys a match preview. I actually wasn't going to do a match preview because I've been at work all day and then I came home and I haven't really particularly been feeling well. But we've got to keep rolling that content out, and big up every single one of you who's watching. And look, we did a stream yesterday, a lot of controversy. Of course, if you haven't watched that already, make sure you go and check it out. Lee Gunner came on to the channel. Big up, Lee. He took a bit of time out of his day, which I really do appreciate because I know he's a very, very busy guy, to come onto my channel, and massive appreciation to him. He did get a lot of abuse in the comment section, but that won't happen anymore because I have moderators. So fuck all you lot who want to come in and just shout abuse all the time. I have moderators now. That's not happening anymore. And of course, we had Tom on the channel as well, who is also part of Lee's channel, Match Day Vibes. Make sure you go and check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, big up to the pair of them for coming on. I really do appreciate their time. And hopefully we can collaborate a little bit more in the future. You know, I really enjoyed that stream yesterday. And since it's Arsenal Burnley, there was one thing that Lee said yesterday that really sort of stood out. And we was talking about Lacazette, about the potential new deal that Arteta was talking about in his press conference, that we could potentially offer him. It's sounding as though we're going to possibly give him a new deal. And yeah, Lee kind of said that Lacazette's goal scoring ratio since he's been at Arsenal hasn't been great. And Tom also agreed, me as well. I'm sure you guys as well will agree. You know, Lacazette, since he's been at Arsenal, hasn't scored 20 goals in a season. Now, for a striker who cost £50 million, that's not that great. And Lee kind of said that Chris Wood would probably do a better job for Arsenal. So, of course, as you guys well know, in these previews, I like to bring a few stats. I like to, you know, look into it a little bit more, head-to-head, players especially. And yeah, of course, I've picked out Chris Wood and Lacazette, and we'll go through their stats since they've been in the Premier League this season. And it might just well be a bit of an interesting read for you guys. And obviously, you can make your decision at the end. Would you prefer Chris Wood or would you prefer Lacazette? But then these stats as well, you've got to bear in mind that Chris Wood is playing for Burnley. Yeah, Burnley. Lacazette's playing for Arsenal. You know, one of the biggest clubs in the UK, one of the biggest clubs in the world. And yes, we have not been that great in recent years. But you would have thought that Lacazette's stats would be a lot better than Chris Wood's, considering he's got better players around him. But before we get into all of that, guys, just give me... Sorry about that. Of course, like I said, Arsenal take on Burnley. I think it's 12 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. As I said, Burnley have already beaten us once this season. Looking at the Premier League form between the two sides as well, in their last 4 Premier League fixtures, Burnley have won once. They've drawn 3 games and they've lost a game as well. Now, of course, they drew the other day against Leicester, who are flying high at the top of the Premier League, although they did have a massive setback at the weekend. Of course, Arsenal pulling off that shock win at Leicester. I don't think any of us expected it, considering the amount of changes that we made within the side as well. And to go and beat Leicester 3-1 and limit Jamie Vardy to very, very little opportunities as well. It was a good performance, and I was probably just as happy, if not more happy than anybody else, because it was such a surprise. When that first goal went in, I really did think that it was going to be a long afternoon. And the way we started as well, it was kind of like Benfica all over again. And I thought, oh my God, I'm dreading this. But we turned it around towards the end of the first half. Players started to link play better. Of course, we got a goal back. Yeah, very, very good performance. Very good performance. And I want to see that again tomorrow. And of course, we've got a big game on Thursday as well. Olympiacos is coming up. I think any Arsenal fan would admit that that is the most important game out of the two, and probably the most important game of our season. However, I've currently got the Premier League table sat in front of me now. Of course, Arsenal didn't have a game this week because a lot of teams had games in hand. However, we didn't. So a lot of other teams have been playing this week, and now they've pretty much played their games in hand, and everything is sort of even. 1 or 2 teams has played a game more, and looking here, Aston Villa are the only team that has not played more than 26 or 26 games. And it's an interesting one. It just shows how much of a weird, strange season this has been, because currently Arsenal are sat in 10th. Of course, as we all know, it's not been a great season for us. We've won 11 games. We've lost 11 games as well, which is not great for Arsenal. But then when you look at that, we're only 6 points behind Liverpool, because they've had a horrendous season this season. And if we say, for example, string 4 wins together and hope that teams above us drop points as well, we could potentially bring ourselves back into the top 6 race, So as much as Thursday is very important, tomorrow is also important. We've got to keep ourselves and give ourselves a bit of a fighting chance. All we can do now is concentrate on ourselves, make sure we keep picking up points, and then it's just down to what happens above us. At the end of the day, if we continue to win games and the teams above us continue to win games and we finish 10th, the only thing we can blame is ourselves, because the beginning of the season has not been good enough. Yeah, it's as simple as that. And Arsenal to be in 10th, not great at all. But I'm not going to be too negative about it because there is still a little way of the season to go. We could possibly still salvage our season by winning the Europa League. You just never know what's going to happen in football. Do I think we can win the Europa League? Nah. If I'm being honest, I don't see a hope in hell's chance of us winning that competition. And I kind of feel like, although we're still in it, our season is kind of already over because, let's be real, we're not going to win it. And if we do, then Mikel Arteta and the players deserve all the credit that they can get because, let's be real, we are not favourites for that competition at all. But on to Burnley, and like I say, they've beaten us once this season. Of course, we all remember it very, very well. Well, I do at least anyway. 1-0 at the Emirates to Burnley. Of course, it was an Aubameyang own goal as well. We've been complaining about Aubameyang not scoring goals all season. He got one that day. It was just at the wrong end of the pitch. And it was that game where Granit Xhaka stupidly got himself sent off and for wrapping his arms around an opponent's throat. However, Granit Xhaka, as we all know, is a favourite of the manager, so he got brought back into the side as soon as his ban was over, and hopefully he won't be clowning around like that again tomorrow, because we could do without having 10 men on the pitch. Burnley are a tough side to break down. Yeah. They have a system which works. Sean Dyche is doing an excellent job with the budget and with the players that he has at the football club and at his disposal. And we are going to have to be very good tomorrow in order to beat Burnley. And when I say very good, I mean none of this slow, sideways, backwards, lethargic bullshit that we tend to see a lot this season. We need to move the ball quickly in order to break down Burnley because we know what they're coming with. They're going to sit back, try and hit us on the counter, and rely upon set pieces. They obviously have some very good players that they can rely upon from set pieces. You've got your Chris Wood. Ashley Barnes is always a handful to deal with as well. Players like that. So we've got to be very careful. And yes, funnily enough, a stat came out today that Arsenal are the team in the league that have conceded the least from set pieces. But Burnley can hurt us from set pieces, and it's going to be a tight affair. I kind of feel like if we get an early goal, we could win it 2-3-4. However, if it goes to the dying moments, sort of like the last 10 minutes, and it's still 0-0, I will start to worry a little bit more because, like I say, Burnley from set pieces, they're a dangerous side, man, I'm telling you. I personally feel I'm confident. I'm confident we'll beat Burnley, Like I said, they got a draw against Leicester during the week. Of course, they got an absolute slapping by Tottenham. Gareth Bale was actually playing proper on that day. And although since he's joined Tottenham, he looks like he should be really out playing golf instead. He hasn't looked interested at all. But that day he did turn up, and it was the Gareth Bale, of course, that we all know that is world class on his day. So we can get at Burnley. We can beat Burnley. It all depends on us. And I keep saying this. We need to start the game quicker. I'm fed up with seeing slow, lethargic bullshit. And every single time we start a game slow, we get ourselves in a mess, and then we rely upon a second half performance to drag us out of the mess. You can't keep doing that at this level. This is Premier League football. not Sunday League, you know. So, with that in mind, I'm going to get to the Chris Wood Lacazette stats that might shock a few of you, and it might not. So let's go straight to it. Chris Wood versus Lacazette, and this is since both players have been in the Premier League. So this is Premier League stats. Chris Wood has played 126 games. He scored 39 goals. He averages 0.31 goals per game. He's created 4 assists, had 203 shots, 100 shots on target, which leaves him at a 49% shot accuracy percentage. And he's created he's missed 47 big chances. Lacazette has played 7 games less than Chris Wood. He's scored 46 goals. So 7 goals more than Chris Wood. He averages 0.39 goals per game. He's created 18 assists, had 231 shots on goal, 113 shots on target with a 49% shot accuracy, and he's missed 39 big chances. So if we dive deeper into that, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, wow. I don't know how much Burnley paid for Chris Wood. I think he came from Leeds, and I don't think he was an awful lot either. I think he was about 15 to 20 million pound. Lacazette cost 50 million pound. Yes, he's played 7 games less, but considering he's playing for an Arsenal side and Chris Wood is playing for a Burnley side, the fact that he's only got 7 goals more just shows how poor Lacazette's goal scoring ability is. You know, he doesn't get. I'll be fair on Lacazette though. He doesn't tend to get an awful lot of chances per game. You know, he does have, you know, maybe 1 or 2 clear-cut chances during the game, and 9 times out of 10 he'll take at least one of them. But in terms of clinicalness, he's no more clinical than Chris Wood. Both of their shot accuracy is at 49%. He's missed 9 less big chances than Chris Wood. But once again, Lacazette being the £50 million striker, you would expect it to be a lot less than that. You know? And in terms of shots as well, you know, Chris Wood, he's a big striker. Burnley tend to play on the back foot, yet he's only had 28 less shots than Lacazette, which is mad. Absolutely mad. So, in looking at that, in terms of that, what do you guys make of that? I mean, we're talking about offering Lacazette a new deal. I would personally sell him in the summer, get a bit of money back from him, and invest it in the team elsewhere. Because I kind of agree with what Lee was saying yesterday. If we sell Lacazette, we can then mould Martinelli into a striker. Then you've got the option of Balogun, Aubameyang, Martinelli as striker. Yes, it means you might have to go and get a left winger. But if Nicolas Pepe carries on playing the way that he's playing, he could play on the left wing. And then you can have Bukayo Saka on the right, you know. You've also got Willian, who can fill in there as well. Again, look, I do not rate Willian whatsoever. I think he's been one of the worst buys that Arsenal have ever made. But his performance at Leicester at the weekend, is the type of Willian that we want to see, you know? And yeah, for me, look, even if we wanted to get rid of Willian, we've given him a 3-year contract on 220 grand per week. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. For me, you'd be better off getting rid of Lacazette, getting rid of Eddie Nketiah, getting rid of, these guys who could potentially give you a bit more money in the budget, and then go and invest it in the squad elsewhere. I think we've got enough there to cover for Lacazette not being here. As much as I like Lacazette's hold-up play, I like the fact that he brings players into play as well. I like the fact that, he holds the ball up. He's always looking to help out as well. If he's not getting the ball, he won't just stand there at the top of the pitch. He will come back into midfield and get it, So I like that about him. I like his attitude as well at times. But in terms of playing for Arsenal Football Club, if you're a striker for Arsenal, you need to be clinical. You need to be scoring goals as well. And that is the big difference between him and Aubameyang. I don't rate Aubameyang's overall play. Yeah. But in terms of goal scoring, he's one of the best in the world. And we've seen this season exactly what we are as a team when Aubameyang is not scoring. If Aubameyang's not scoring, there is nobody else. So we need somebody else who can help out Aubameyang in the goal scoring department, but can also do what Lacazette does as well. So that would be my personal opinion. I wouldn't go and get Chris Wood to replace him, that's for sure. But I would be looking elsewhere, possibly for another striker in the summer. But guys, let me know in the comments section, what would you do? And I will get to reading a few of your comments out as well. I can see there's a lot of comments in the comments section. Big up everybody who's tuned in. Make sure you're smashing a like on it. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you go and do that as well. Last time I checked, 3 subscribers away from 400. Make sure we get there, guys. Come on. I really do appreciate every single one of you. And we're going to go straight into my lineup because I'm going to keep this quite short this evening. It's 9:30 here in the UK. And I have got work in the morning. So it's going to be pretty simple, really. I would make one change from the Leicester win because I've said it about this manager a lot, right? When he first came in, I can't lie, I felt refreshed. When I first heard his first press conference, I felt refreshed. I felt like this guy is actually going to be a decent manager, because he was telling me, and he was telling every single Arsenal fan out there, that he wasn't going to take any shit. He was going to try and build a culture. He was going to play players based on merit. Now that is the highlighting point. Play players based on merit. Too many times this season, Mikel Arteta has tried to overcomplicate things. Far too much. How many times have we seen somebody, for example, Nicolas Pepe? How many times have we seen a player play decent and then in the following game they're dropped to the bench? No. Keep playing them. Yeah? He's so fixated on what people do in training. I do not give a toss what players do in training. It's about what they do on match day. And it's about whether we get the 3 points on match day or not. You don't get 3 points for training well, And Lacazette as well, he got dropped earlier in the season. He was scoring goals, doing what we wanted him to do. And then he had a run of games where he didn't play. I remember very, very clearly as well. the first game against City this season. Willian playing up front when Lacazette's been banging goals. And it's silly little decisions like that from the manager. So, with that said, I want to see him take his words from his first ever press conference that he did at Arsenal and play players based on merit. Now, of course, we have got an important game on Thursday. So, of course, I want to see one or two players rested for that, you know. I would probably rest Bukayo Saka. Yes, we've had a week off, but the guy's played an awful lot of football. And if we're being honest, he's more important than a hell of a... He's probably the most important player in this squad right now. And we need to wrap him up in cotton wool and make sure that this guy does not get injured. Burnley are a very physical team, and the last thing we want is an injury to a player like Bukayo Saka. So, bearing in mind we've just beat Leicester 3-1, unexpectedly as well, I would not change a single player from that starting 11. Play them based on merit. You know, they just got 3 points, so play them again. Yeah, and the only change I would make is, of course, or two changes I would make is, of course, Emil Smith-Rowe come off injured. Once again, I said it. The guy needed a rest. Arteta decided to throw him in, and that's what happens when somebody who's not used to playing Premier League football week in, week out, that's what happens. They get injured. You know, he looked knackered weeks before that. He should have been took out and given a rest. But Arteta threw him in, and he got injured. And yes, I'm hearing rumours that he is back, and it's not a serious injury, but he should not be risked for this game. We need him for Thursday. And even if it is just coming off the bench on Thursday, he should not be risked for this game. So, of course, he started the game against Leicester on the left-hand side. I want to see Martinelli on the left-hand side to replace Emil Smith-Rowe. We need to start seeing this guy getting minutes now. Yeah? I don't care what anybody says. Yes, he's had injuries. Yes, maybe Arteta is trying to wrap him up a little bit, you know, and make sure that he doesn't get injured for a long time again. But we have not seen him play since Newcastle. That is a long time ago now, in footballing terms. You know, we've had a lot of games since then. He's been on the bench for the last, 3-4 weeks, and he's not even got 10 minutes on the pitch. Actually, that's a lie. I think he got 10 minutes against, I can't remember who it was. Might have been Benfica, actually. And I want to see him play. I want to see this guy play. He's so talented. You know, the way that he presses as well, the way that he just does not stop running and working hard for the team and the badge and everybody around him. Yeah, we have a potential world-class player on our hands, and he's not even being used. We need to get this guy minutes, because I'm telling you, if we go further into this Europa League, we may well need him. And it's about time that he started playing. So I want to see Martinelli on the left-hand side. And of course, as I just mentioned, Burnley are a physical side. So, with that in mind, another player who I feel like needs to be broken in to the team now. He's just come back from injury. We could do with him without him getting injured again. But I would start Thomas Partey in the midfield on Saturday or tomorrow, because he's a big guy. He can be physical, yeah, but he also controls a midfield as well. He is the type of player who will pick up the ball and take 1 or 2 touches and move it on. Yeah. If we have Granit Xhaka and El Neni in the midfield, you can guarantee it's going to be sideways, backwards, bullshit again. Yeah, because these guys take 3, 4, 5 touches before they move the ball. So I would start Thomas Partey. I probably wouldn't play him for the entire of the game, but I would give him at least 60 minutes just to get him back up to speed again, because we're going to need him on Thursday as well. And we need to start integrating him into the team properly. Yeah. Keeping this guy fit and making sure that he is ready. And you see the difference when we play with Thomas Partey in the midfield. You know, we're a different side altogether. Him and Granit Xhaka seem to complement each other to a certain degree. I still don't think Granit Xhaka is the answer. But when he plays next to Thomas Partey, he isn't that bad, you know? So that would be my team. So, of course, if we're going to go through it one by one, it's got to be Burnley in goal. Yeah. It's got to be. No question about it. Wherever he is. It's got to be Cedric at right back. Yeah. So much better than Hector Bellerin. So much better. And Hector Bellerin needs to sit out for at least a few weeks to think about his performances this season, because he has been dog shit. And he's another player who I would 100% get rid of in the summer. My centre-back pairing would be David Luiz, who I thought had a very good game against Leicester, and Pablo Mari. Now, I've been saying it, I keep saying it, and I'm going to continue to say it. Yeah, Pablo Mari is probably up there as one of our best centre-backs. Every game that we've played with this guy in Arsenal, in our starting 11, I don't think we've actually lost this season. You know, he controls the game so well. He's not quick, but he reads the game so well. And again, he had a very good performance against Leicester. Left back has to be Kieran Tierney, of course. You know, what can I say? He was very good against Leicester as well. Leadership qualities all over. And I don't know why this guy is not captain, honestly. In the midfield, I would go with Granit Xhaka, who in the first half of the Leicester game was absolute crap. I was watching him very closely. The amount of time that he required upon the ball, and the fact that he just, I don't know. I don't get why people rate that guy. I really don't. I think he's a very average footballer. But there you go. Second half, he improved. I'll give him that. Thomas Partey next to him. Like I said, we need to start getting this guy minutes now. On the left, I would go with Martinelli. Again, like I said, we need to start getting this guy minutes. In the number 10 role, has to be Martin Odegaard. Again, we've got him till May, so keep playing him. You know, he's done all right. He's not done too bad. And like I said, Smith Rowe's out anyway, so play Odegaard. On the right-hand side, I would go with wherever he is. a Nicolas Pepe. Oh no, not Odegaard. Sorry, I would go Nicolas Pepe on the right. Sorry, not Odegaard. I forgot he came on as a sub. That's right. And I would go with Willian in the 10. Those two in particular were very good against Leicester, and I want to see it again. I want to see it again. And I don't rate Willian at all. And I'm not too. I don't really rate Pepe either. You know, I don't think he's been good enough since he come into Arsenal. But based off their last performance, you've got to play them again. You've got to. And then up front, I would go with Alexander Lacazette. Give him a chance to prove himself again. I thought he did okay against Leicester. You know, I don't think he was too bad. He scored the penalty, of course, and that'll give him some confidence as well. But I would save Aubameyang for Thursday. We're going to need him and his goals. And Lacazette, you know, he's not really played too much football in the last few weeks. Chuck him in. You know, keep the same side as we did against Leicester, barring maybe two players. And that's what I would go with. But, of course, no doubt this is not what the manager will go with. But there you go. And my prediction for the game is Arsenal 2, Burnley 0. And like I said, I'm pretty confident that we'll beat them. I can't believe every single stream that I do pretty much is, if you read the description, it's always Arsenal are looking for revenge. And again, we're looking for revenge against Burnley. It's mad. It's mad. It's been a mad season. I'll kind of be glad when it's over, especially being an Arsenal fan. But as a neutral, you don't really want it to be over. It's mad. But there you go, guys. And I'm going to get into a few of your comments. Big up everybody. And yeah. So let's start right at the very top. We've got Dardanian in the house. How we doing, Dardanian? He says, my prediction for tomorrow is a 2-0 win. How about anybody else's prediction? Leo says, big up Brandon and everyone. Wow, man, nearly 400 subs. Brandon's channel is growing fast. Keep up the good work, buddy. Cheers, Leo. Thank you. I appreciate that. And as Leo just pointed out, before this stream started, we was 3 away from 400 subs. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go and do that. And make sure you're smashing them likes up as well. Big up everybody. Tom is in the building. How we doing, Tom, buddy? Thank you very much for coming on yesterday, mate. I appreciate that. And no doubt you'll see me and Tom after the game on Saturday in a fan cam, because although I'm at work, I will be keeping an eye on it as well. You know, I'll be hiding in the toilets from the boss and just having a little look at what's going on and that. So I will be keeping an eye on it. And yes, no doubt we will see a fan cam tomorrow. But big up, Tom. LouTube. How we doing, LouTube? LouTube reckons it will be 2-1. I'm assuming that you mean to Arsenal. I'm hoping that you mean to Arsenal. But there you go. We've got Young Gooner in the house. Big up yourself. How we doing? He also says 2-1 to Arsenal. We have the Gooner Express. Big up the Gooner Express. How we doing, mate? Wolves Central is in the building. Is it just me, or is it that Burnley are shit? But it always feels like you're nervous that Burnley will shithouse a win. Yes, I agree, and I get exactly where you're coming from, mate. You know, Burnley are not a great side, really. They have a good system. They don't really have any like individual brilliant players. But their way of playing and the way that they play is very, very very good and very effective. And yeah, I'm always worried, mate. It's Arsenal, you know. Anybody can shithouse a win against Arsenal. That's the problem. It depends what Arsenal turn up. But big up yourself, mate. Thank you for joining the chat. We have Marco in the building. How we doing, Marco? He says, "Oh, finally, moderators. Yes, I should have got that sorted before the stream yesterday." And luckily, Lee's not the type of guy who will cry over comments, you know. He actually finds it quite funny. But I should have got that sorted yesterday before the stream. I didn't know that I was going to, you know, get people in the comment section that were giving that much abuse. So apologies to Lee. But it's all sorted now, buddy. So make sure you do come back. You know, I don't want you hiding away now. I'm sure he won't anyway. You know, he don't care. He does not care. But there you go. Big up yourself, Marco. We've got Jamie in the building. How we doing, Jamie? Yes, Brandon, you need to do a weekly show with Tom and Lee. I'd love to do a weekly show with Tom and Lee, but of course, you know, Lee's a busy guy. I know Tom's a busy guy as well. You know, he's got his own business. So it's hard to try and do a weekly show, you know. If we could fit one in, and I'd have to speak to him, you know. But if we could fit one in, I'd 100% be up for that. No doubt about it, buddy. And yeah, big up yourself. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you coming and asking me as well last night to be a moderator. Of course, your wish has been granted. And yeah, I know you've got me sorted out, mate. We got Matthew in the building. How we doing, Matthew? A Man City fan. No complaints about Man City at the moment. They're absolutely flying. LuTube says, everyone share this. We need to get Brandon to 400 subs tonight. That would be epic, mate. I tell you what, if you could do that, like I said, I would really appreciate that. Alexander says, get well soon, Brandon. It's all good, mate. It's all good. I don't let anything like that fucking affect me, really. You know, I just kind of get on with it, and that's about it. It's a mentality thing that has been installed in me by my missus. You know, she has no sympathy for anybody. So I can't sit there and say, oh, I don't feel well, because she'll just say, stop being a pussy. And yeah. Marco says, would you sell Lacazette for around 30 million this summer? We could also sell Eddie for about 10 to 15, and someone like Reece Nelson for about 15, and could invest that 60 million on a quality forward like Grealish. Exactly, Marco, you know. And listen, mate, I would do that all day long. I would do that all day long. I think it's the type of thing that we need to do. We also need to get rid of individual players that are not good enough, i.e. Hector Bellerin. You know, he would be the first one out the door. You'd probably still get 15, 20 million pound for him. Granit Xhaka as well, but the manager seems to be a fan of Granit Xhaka's, so I don't see that one happening. But just in player sales alone, if you're smart with it, you know, you could potentially sell these players and it will fund a Jack Grealish type player, you know. I'd love Jack Grealish at Arsenal. I don't see it happening, but that's certainly something that I would do, Marco. And maybe you should ring up Arsenal and say, look, this is what I would do. I should be part of your recruitment system, because it seems to me like you, of course, have a brain, whereas the people who run our recruitment system at Arsenal, they probably do have a brain, but they just don't use it very often, you know. There you go. Wolves Central says, you'll make it one day, Brandon. Keep grinding and working hard, and you'll be great in the future, mate. Big up yourself. And of course, I'll keep grinding all day long. I enjoy this. I started this as a bit of fun, and I enjoy coming on here and talking to you guys, and I appreciate everybody who tunes in. Whether you're a hater or a lover, it does not matter to me. Nothing really tends to affect me. And yeah, but of course, get more love than hate, and that's always good as well. But yeah, I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy coming on and speaking to you guys as well. So yeah, big up yourselves. Burnley are a difficult team to beat. We have a shit record against them too. That is true. That is true. If you remember the times that we have beat them, I remember one. It was an Alexis Sanchez goal in the dying seconds. I think it was actually a penalty as well. So that's how tough we find Burnley to beat. And they are a tough team to break down, and we have to move the ball quickly in order to cause them problems. You move the ball quickly, you start pulling players out of position, and you can find the gaps as well. So that is the key to it all. But like I said, it depends what Arsenal turn up. I watch the Scottish League a lot, and I think Edouard is a great striker. Not too sure he can do it in the Premier League, but I would still like us to sign him. Definitely has potential. Edouard is probably a good shout, mate. He wouldn't cost an awful lot of money. He's been banging in goals, assists, you name it, in the Scottish League. Why not? Why not take a plunge on him? What? It's going to cost you about £20 million, and take a plunge on him. Why not? We got Marco again, who says if we win on Saturday, we could get 7 points off top four. Oh my god, if that happens, imagine the gist fest over Arteta. Yeah. The problem is, mate, is we always talk about this, Oh, if we win this weekend, we're only 4 points behind Chelsea. Or, oh, look at Chelsea, they're only 2 points in front of us. If we win this weekend, we'll overtake them. And then we never seem to do it. We always seem to lose or drop points, and it's just where we are as a football club at the moment. It's embarrassing, really. Should have signed him in my career mode. I'm playing it right now. There we go. Come on, you Gooners. 11 Raps says, you all right, Brandon? I am good, mate. How are we doing? Nice to see you in the comments as usual, my friend. Big up yourself. I don't really play career mode often, but yeah, I would assume he has good potential. There you go. Look, anybody who's on the FIFA ting, make sure you go and find Edouard. Has good potential on FIFA. We're just being told by YouTube. The Gooner Express says he's got a good potential on FIFA. There you go. All being confirmed. Guys, if you could take one Wolves player to straight position swap for an Arsenal player, like striker for striker, what Wolves player would you take? There's only... Oh, that's easy, mate. That's easy. I would swap Granit Xhaka for Ruben Neves. Yeah. I would personally have loved, like, the one name who's right on the tip of my tongue is Pedro Neto, but who then would you have to swap him for? Because I wouldn't be giving Martinelli away for him, because I think Martinelli has the potential to be better or just as good as Pedro Neto. But Pedro Neto, I'd love him at Arsenal. And Ruben Neves as well, I really do rate that guy. Would you rather sign Buendia, Edouard, Bissouma, Lamptey, Van Aanholt, or just Jack Grealish? Do you know, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. I asked the same question to Lee and Tom yesterday, and they actually found it pretty easy to answer. And now that you ask me, I'm not sure, you know. If I could, I probably out of them, out of them five, there's only one player that in there that I would personally take. Maybe two. But for me, Basuma all day long. Lamptey would be the other one, but I like Lamptey, but I would kind of prefer to go get Max Aarons. So based off of that, I would probably rather just sign Jack Grealish. You're getting a very good, arguably world class player there in Jack Grealish, because I believe that if he was playing for a top six side in the Premier League, if he was playing for like a Barcelona or Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, a team like that, I believe he'd be one of the best midfielders in world football. That's how good I think he is. Literally started career mode 10 minutes before Brandon went live. Big up yourself, Jamie. Relentless in the chat. How are we doing, Relentless? He says, Brandon, is Oba fit? I think so. I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen any news on Aubameyang. Not unless any of you guys know. I haven't got a clue. I hope he's fit because we need his goals. That is for sure. The Gooner Express agrees with me. Xhaka for Neves all day long. 3 subs away, lads. Come on. Come on. Where is that positivity train, Brandon? Come on, mate. Be positive. I am positive, mate. I'm as positive as I can be. I'm an Arsenal fan, so you can't be too positive, It'd be embarrassing to be too positive. And some of these fans do embarrass themselves by being overly positive. You got to be realistic with it as well, Matthew, it's easy to be positive if you're a City fan. There you go. There you go, Matthew. Do do do. Would you have taken James Justin? Is he a right back or a left back? I think he's a right back, isn't he? I'm not sure now. The answer though is yes. If he's a left back, which I'm not sure he is, he might be actually. I would take him all day long. And him and Tierney can fight it out for a place in the first team. It's always good to have two players who are of quality fighting out for a first team spot. If he's a right back over Hector Bellerin, all day long, mate. All day long. I'm starting to think Aubameyang is getting past it. Hate to say it. Yeah, based off of what he's done this season, you could probably say that. Let's just hope it's a blip. Let's just hope it's a one-off, and hopefully he'll be a lot better next season. Hopefully he can have a good end to the season as well. Wood turns into prime R9 when he plays against us. Everybody turns into prime R9 when they play against us, mate. It's just Arsenal. We make average players look very, very like world class. It's mad. It is mad. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that we just don't turn up into certain games. We just really don't. There you go. Jamie says, sell Lacazette, not good enough. Lou Tube says, we need new strikers. They're starting to get past it. I would agree to a certain extent. Our manager doesn't rate Gabriel Martinelli. I'm starting to think that myself, mate. I really am. And if that's the case, just resign, mate. Seriously. You know, if you rate Granit Xhaka and Hector Bellerin, but you don't rate Martinelli, see ya. Wolves Central says, we're shit this season. However, I believe Nuno is a good enough manager that we're just in transitional period at the moment and we'll be back next season. I would take Nuno. Arsenal, which is funnily enough your next question, buddy. And yeah, I would take Nuno Arsenal all day long. I think he's a very good manager. And I think with better players and a bigger budget at Arsenal, I think he'd do bits. I really do. I like the way Wolves play. And yeah, I think he would do bits at Arsenal, Nuno. Brandon Balogun is set to leave Arsenal this summer. I don't know what's going on with the Balogun situation. I wouldn't be surprised if he left. I'd be more surprised if he did stay. But then you got Arteta saying that they've had conversations and it's been positive. Balogun wants to stay. I can't see why he'd want to stay if he's not getting first team opportunities, but you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And I suppose we'll find out a bit more in the summer, you know. I hope he stays because his level's above Eddie and Nketiah. Let's put it that way. I would have taken Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but you wouldn't sell him. Yeah. Another player who's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I personally feel like I kind of quite rate him. You know, he's a versatile player. I think he needs a lot. He's got a lot to learn in the game. I think he needs to stop trying to set his sights on a place in the midfield, especially if he wants to stay at Arsenal. But in terms of doing a job at fullback, 100%. We need to sell Lacazette and buy a young, promising striker like Eduard. Yeah, another player as well. I think Lee and Tom mentioned it. I think it was Tom that mentioned it. Is Ivan Toney as well? I would take him as well. You know, take a punt on him. Why not? You can have Fabio Silva. He's shit. He's only young though. He's only young, so give him time. I don't care about Eduard. We have Balogun, Martinelli, and Abba as our strikers. We don't need to blow over £20 million on him when we can spend it on a quality right back like Lamptey. Yeah, again, it's about smart investment. It's about investing in the right areas. I'd certainly say that striker is not our priority. Our priority is central midfield and right back and left back, you know. So yeah, no, I would agree. As well. Marco says it's been confirmed that Balogun is set to leave Arsenal this summer. Interesting. And if that's the case, again, it's poor business by Arsenal. Once again, we're letting a player go for free. You know, he's a young player as well with potential. If we would have been smart about ourselves and about our business, we could potentially have got between 10 and 15 million pound for him because of his age. You know, maybe even more than that. And instead, we're letting these players walk out for free, and it's It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. For some reason, according to Arteta, if you're rubbish, you get to start every week, and if you're class, you get dropped. It's mad. It's mad. But there you go. Matthew says Arsenal will probably finish 6th on the table come the end of the season. I can't see it, mate, personally. I really cannot see it. Hello, bruv. How we doing? How we doing, mate? He says, can you get Lee Gunner on again, bruv? Good show. I will try and get Lee on again at some point. Like I said, he is a very busy guy, so it's hard to get him on. But yeah, again, I appreciate Lee coming on and taking time out of his day. I appreciate Tom coming on as well and taking time out of his day. Both very busy guys. Both, again, I'd love to get them on the channel more regular and do stuff with them on a regular. But it's all about, obviously Lee does YouTube full time. Tom has his own business and that, so it's not just as easy as dropping a message and yeah, let's go. You got to work it around other people's schedules as well. So, but no, I'd definitely love to get them on again at some point. But big up yourself. Sam says, big up G, keep up the grind. Big up Sam, how we doing, mate? I appreciate you jumping into the comments section. Is Lee really cancelled? No, he's not. He's not cancelled, mate. He's not cancelled. Lee, it's mad, bruv. Gonna big up Lee. Oh. There we go. Hello, bruv. Has just subscribed. Big up yourself, hello, bruv. That means we are now 2 away from 400. Make sure you are slapping a sub on the channel. And, of course, as well, as he says, slap the likes up. I'd take out you mongs, though, because I'm a nicer person than that. I'll just say, slap the likes up. Come on. Thank you. Only 2 away now. Come on, lads. Ladies as well. You see with Maguire at United, when he plays next to Lindelof, they play a lower line because Maguire doesn't trust Lindelof's pace. When he is with Bailly, the line goes forward. Same with Xhaka and Partey. That's true. That is true. Agreed, Brandon. I would even say that he is our best centre-back. That's Pablo Mari we're talking about there. We lost versus City with Mari, Brandon. Yeah, that's true. I think that was last season, though, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I'm sure it was last season. Not sure now. Not sure. Might be wrong. Yeah, YouTube, only player other than Saka that looks like he cares, and he's a serial winner. That's true. That is true. We've got EGTV, a gal in the house. How we doing, a gal? He says, what's up, Brandon? For me, Leno, Kieran Tierney, Mari, Louise, Cedric, Partey, Xhaka, Pepe, Odegaard, Saka, and Aubameyang. That surprises me, mate. About Saka, especially. I thought maybe you might want to give him a bit of a rest, but I can understand why you chucked him in there. No Willian, I see. No Willian. I know your thoughts on Willian, mate. I know your thoughts on Willian. Would you rest our key players ready for Olympiacos? Yes, some key players. Like I said earlier on, I would keep it exactly the same as the team that played against Leicester. I'd make 2 changes. Of course, Smith Rowe is injured, so I would bring in Martinelli, and I'd chuck Thomas Partey in the midfield as well to deal with the physicality of Burnley. For definite, that would be what I would do, mate. But big up yourself. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Arteta out. He's destroying Martinelli's career. Is that your actual name, mate? You couldn't have kept it a little bit shorter than that, like Arteta destroying Martinelli or something. But look, big up yourself, mate. Thank you for tuning in. I like it. I like it, though. I do like it. Good luck, Arsenal, but wish you a lot of very good luck if Willian is starting. Listen, Willian pulled out a performance against Leicester, and based off of that, you've got to play him again. You've got to play him again. At the end of the day, the Olympiacos game is more important than this Burnley game. I still want to get 3 points, don't get me wrong, but if we're looking to what game's more important, Olympiacos. Revenge against Olympiacos, the mighty Olympiacos. Exactly. My predicted lineup is Leno, Kieran Tierney, Pablo Mari, David Luiz, Cedric, Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Saka, Odegaard, Pepe and Aubameyang. Same score, 2-0. There we go. Normski TV. How we doing, bro? Big up yourself. Thank you for tuning in. Arteta out. He's destroying Martinelli's career. Has just subbed as well. Big up. 2 subs away now. 2 subs away. Make sure if you're tuning in and you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you go and slap a subscribe. And of course, keep them likes getting smashed up as well, guys. We're on for 400 subs tonight, though. Come on. Big up everybody. Burnley are the definition of bogey team. Yeah. He's really starting right at the top of the chat. Brandon is a G. Of course, man. Of course. I've got to start at the top. I like to get as many of your comments read out as possible. Obviously, the more people that tune in and the more subscribers, the more comments and that's going, the harder that will be. But while we are a relatively small channel at the moment, I want to get all your comments read out, guys, because I want to show the appreciation to you guys who have taken your time out of your day to tune in and to put a comment in the comment section. There's no point in you putting a comment in the comment section if it's not going to get read out. If you put a comment in there, I want to read it out. So yeah, big up yourself, mate. 11 L's this season, and Arsenal's worst position they finished in history was 12th. Arteta 3 points from that happening. Big up yourself, Hassan. Thank you for tuning in, mate. World class left back Alonso is available. Always say it to you. Alonso, no, seriously, no. No, although he seems to be a bit of a system player. Thomas Tuchel, or Tuchel, I think that's how you pronounce his name anyway. But he seems to be getting performances out of him, Maybe Alonso's not as bad as what people first thought. Who knows? We have Zane in the chat as well. Big up yourself, Zane, who says, big up Brandon, my guy. We need Lamptey, Kanate, Aouar, and Edouard. Interesting. Certainly, I would say Lamptey, Kanate. That's another good shout as well. Not a bad centre back. Aouar as well. It was very, very clear that Arteta wanted Aouar in the summer. Whether we'll go back in for him again, who knows? And of course, we've already spoke about Edouard. But yeah, if we get them 4 players, that would improve us. Definitely, mate. Definitely. The Atlanta player is a quality player. Plays any position from left side. Value at £25 million bargain. 13, is that goals and assists from 21 games? Not bad. That is not bad. Facts, Brandon, look at Liverpool, £30 million for Brewster. Also, Dominic Solanke as well. You know what I mean? Mad. DePaul from Udinese. Yeah. Another player as well. Zane, you the guy that put Saeed on his story. Hassan says, make me a mod if you can. I can get that sorted, mate. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Arteta out. Well said. There you go. You can't lie, though. Whatever gets put on Saeed's story is funny. Sorry when I say lads, I just meant everyone. My bad. Fair play. He means the other day when Sterling scored the header, Brandon, although we did lose when he played against City last season. Did he play? I thought it was Rob Holding. Yeah, it was. It was Rob Holding. Oh, it was. No, you're right. It was Rob Holding and Pablo Mari. You're right. You're right. Was it? No. Are you sure? I thought it was Rob Holding and Gabriel. Might be wrong. Might be wrong. Willian does his thing when everyone expects him to be frozen out. He turns into Ronaldinho and gets back into the squad. He did that at Chelsea for 7 years. That's true. That is true. Oh dear. Don't worry, rival fans. Willian is back. Do you know what's funny? Is Robbie from AFTV. He got absolutely slated for saying at the beginning of the season that Willian is a better player than Ziyech. Willian actually has more assists than Ziyech this season. How mad is that, you know? It's mad. Zane, I watched him for 7 years. Don't know what Arsenal fans saw in him and Arteta. Who knows, mate? Honestly, you know, we like these reject players. It's mad. It is mad. Our is bang average. He's only a 15 to 20 million less than Grealish. We need to put our hands in our pocket and get 100 times the player. Exactly, mate. But whether that happens or not, you know, it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal. We know what's coming. David Luiz will get a new contract and he'll be like a new signing. You know, we'll probably hand out new contract to Hector Bellerin as well, and he'll be like a new signing. We already know what's coming. We're waiting for he's only got £40 million to spend because of such and such. Arteta's already said it in his press conference. Depending on where we finish, depends on how much we can spend. Madness. We need at least 5 players this summer. You know? And if we don't get that, we're going to see the same bollocks as what we've seen this season. It's just as simple. Is there a chance that we will go in for Odegaard at the end of the season? And what are your thoughts on him? I can't see us actually going in for Odegaard at the end of the season. I think we may possibly look to try and get him back on loan again if he continues playing the way that he is. I think he's been okay. I don't think he's been great, but I think he's done all right. You know, you can see that he has quality. I think a little more time in the Premier League would do him some good. In terms of actually buying him, listen, Real Madrid are no mugs. They are no mugs. And if we actually turn around and said, we wanted Odegaard and we wanted to buy him on a permanent deal, I can guarantee you right now, Real Madrid will be quoting us silly money. And I'm talking like 70, 80 million pound. Purely and simply because they can. Odegaard has a 300 million pound buyout clause. They don't have to sell him. He is one for the future. And if it came between, do we spend 70, 80 million pound on Odegaard or go and get the finished product in Jack Grealish? You have to go and get Jack Grealish. It's as simple as that. In or out, Brandon? In terms of what? If you're talking about Arteta, I'm Arteta out, and I have been since the Leeds game. And I'm not talking about the Leeds game that's just happened. I'm talking about the Leeds game at the beginning of the season when Nicolas Pepe got himself sent off, when we was outplayed for 90 minutes, when we was playing. Basically, Arteta was looking like a shit version of Jose Mourinho. Just sit back, try and hit teams on the counter, no real creativity, boring crap football. And I've been Arteta out ever since. But there's no point in shouting it every single stream because it's looking like the guy's here to stay, So what can you do? It's out of your hands. And I'll remain Arteta out until he proves me otherwise. In terms of him proving me otherwise, he has to get us back into Champions League football for me to even think about changing my mind. And then from then onwards, I want what every Arsenal fan should want, and that is to start winning league titles again. Whether Arteta's the man to do that or not, I don't personally think he is, but there you go. Wouldn't be shocked if Tammy Abraham joins Arsenal, Haaland going to Chelsea. Let's be real, no one's stopping Roman if he got Torres from Liverpool and set up to sign Ronaldinho, but Mourinho wanted Drogba. Mate, Drogba, what a player. What a player Didier Drogba was. If you're going to park the bus, should have got Mourinho. He would have won you the Europa League. At least Mourinho's got trophies to go by. And LuTube, of course, says, well said, Brandon. Completely agree. There you go. And that's it, guys. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up there. And hopefully we can get a win tomorrow. Of course, like I said earlier on in the stream, I'm not going to be doing a watch along because I'm at work. I will be keeping an eye out on what is going on in the game as well. Every sort of 10 minutes or so, I'll go and hide in the toilets or whatever so I can have a little watch. Don't want to get caught out by the boss, of course. But I'm only in for a half day tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be doing a fan cam on Lee Gunner's channel as I do every single week. And of course, I'll be bringing you a match reaction as well. I personally feel pretty confident about this game. Hopefully, we can get a win. Make sure you guys are smashing a like on the video. Make sure you've subscribed to the channel if you haven't already as well. Just two subscribers away from 400. We're nearly there, guys. And big up everybody who's tuned in. Big up everybody in the comment section. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you again tomorrow.